This past weekend, we visited Hersheypark for their annual Christmas Candylane event. And I'm going to share our experience, including something that threw a small wrench into our plans for the day. Welcome to Pop Culture Passport, your ultimate guide to quirky and cool destinations across the US. I'm your host, Beth Scalacci, aka the Roman Yeti, here to help you dive into the world of theme parks, uncover film and TV locations, and explore quirky museums, roadside attractions, and legendary venues that capture the heart and soul of this unique country. So grab your pop culture passport and let's discover destinations that resonate with your interest, not just with what's trending on social media. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. Growing up just 30 minutes from Hersheypark, I have so many memories from our visits over the years, including a family tradition of going during Christmas break to see the lights. Now, back then, that event was so much smaller than it is today. I mean, the park was smaller than it is today. But if I remember correctly, it actually ended at the ticket booths where you could see Santa's reindeer, and each ticket booth stall was themed for the reindeer that was in it. Um, and like I said, if I feel like that's a memory. I'll have to verify that with my parents, but it was definitely smaller than it is. And just like I said, so much has changed even at Hershey Park over the years. And like I said, Christmas Candy Lane is no exception. But let's take just a little quick trip back to the early days of Hershey Park, just to sort of get a feel for it. So, Hershey Park was actually founded in 1906, and at that time, it was a leisure park for employees of the Hershey Chocolate Company. And it was originally called Hershey's Park, and it was designed as a place for company workers and their families to relax and enjoy. And really, the only attraction there was simply just a bandstand for entertainment. But over time, the park expanded, as we all know, to include a variety of rides and attractions. So in 1920, Milton Hershey added permanent attractions such as a carousel and a Ferris wheel. And this really helped make the park more of a public attraction. And then in 1946, the famous wooden roller coaster, which will shake your body all around, the Comet, was built. And as the years passed, Hershey Park continued to grow, adding more roller coasters and thrilling rides. And by 1970, the park had cemented its reputation as a family friendly theme park with attractions like the Super Duper Looper, which actually opened in 1977. I have been on the Comet when I was younger, before motion sickness really kicked in bad. Um, Never the Super Duper Looper. You know, I don't do loops, and but I remember it being a big deal for sure at that park. Now, today, Hershey Park features over 70 rides with roller coasters, family rides, a small water park, and attractions in the middle, and some entertainment options. Now, the Christmas Candy Lane event, which we're talking about today, started in 1983. It's a seasonal celebration and it transforms part of the park into this sort of winter wonderland with lights and stuff. And it's grown significantly. Like I told you, like it ended, it would be up to you'd go through the shops and it would end at the ticket booth. And then they started adding some of the kid rides, which are sort of right inside the entrance at that time. The entrance has moved as well. But now it's pretty much the whole park's open, a lot of rides. So it definitely has grown. Now, it's advertised as having many rides, including thrill rides that will be open during the event. Now, I sort of teased this in the beginning and I'm going to tease a little more, but I'll get to it. Why do I say it was advertised that there was a lot of thrill rides? Well, we'll get to that, I promise you. But one of the highlights of the park, for Christmas Candy Lane is they call it Noel, it's their light show, and it's down in what they call the Hollow. I like to call it Roller Coaster Valley because it's down where the Super Duper Looper and Comet, and there's 3 you can sort of see a bunch of roller coasters from there, so that's just what I affectionately call it. But Noel was really cool. This is where twinkling lights are synchronized with holiday music. There was over 5 million lights around the park, not just in Noel, but everywhere. But Noel is really where that light show takes center stage with the music and the dancing lights. It really had that vibe of the Osborne family lights, which I talked about a few weeks ago. Um, so it was really fun to take that all in and watch that. A new addition apparently this year is Merry and Bright Airfield. Now, saying it, you're not gonna get the fun pun that it is. So, it's actually the name Mary, middle initial N, last name Bright, Airfield. It's a really cute, fun pun, enjoy it thoroughly. And this is advertised as Santa's new favorite holiday hangout, and it's area's sort of tucked tucked off the main. You can see it, but if you're not looking for it, you might walk by it. So keep your eyes peeled because it's definitely something you want to check out. So the nice thing is there's a little snack place there. You can buy. They have this really cool tree souvenir with snacks in it. Think popcorn, Disney popcorn bucket on steroids. Um, and they have some beers, a little bar there. So it's there's a little something for everyone for sure. But if you head in and you go to the right, you'll find what they're calling Hangar 96. And this is where Santa's live reindeer are housed. All 9 reindeer are housed. I when we came around the corner, I wasn't sure what to expect, but there are 9 gorgeous reindeer walking around. Um, and the really cool thing is representatives from Zoo America were there to share like cool facts and information about the reindeer. And it was just so cool to see them, like, just sort of walking by you, in their pens and stuff, and I don't know why I get so emotional when I see such amazing animals up close, but I totally do. I just sort of sit and stare in awe, like, so that was a lot of fun to check out, and then you go back into the main area, and then you know, to the left in Marion Bright Airfield, it's called Yule Lounge. And it's beautifully decorated. The trees are gorgeous. There are, elves running around, dancing and, having fun. And this is apparently the line that you go to meet Santa. Totally wasn't paying attention to any of that. We were just checking out the trees and the entertainment, but the line was short. We walked right through. When we got there, we were just like, "Oh, Santa, sorry, we're just passing through." And he's like, "Well, what do you big kids want for Christmas?" And we just laughed, and we're like, "A good year, please." And he just smiled and wished us Merry Christmas and on our way. So it was fun. It's a neat themed area. One of the benefits, I guess, to being early and it not being a great weather day was it was pretty empty and we got through there, so it was definitely, nice to say hi to Santa. And then another meet and greet is over in the, Music Box Theater, where the Hershey characters are dressed in their holiday best for a family photo, and, the seating seemed open for you to go in and sit if you wanted to, so it seemed like a really good place to get out of the cold, sort of get out of the noise or whatever. Um, but it was really cute, the characters were cute. We had the attendant, take our picture for us because you can get professional pictures, but we chose to just have someone use our phone. Now, in the boardwalk area, which is like the water park area, you will find Treeville, where over a dozen beautifully decorated trees tell the story of the sweetest place on earth. And the trees were themed to rides. They were themed to park sponsors. There was an Easy Pass. So if you're not familiar with Easy Pass, if you're not an East Coast person, it's the toll, the thing that you put on your car to keep track of your tolls and pay automatically. So it was sort of funny, interesting to see that. Other local landmarks and stuff, like the golf course nearby had a tree, with, the plastic golf balls and tees made into, snowflakes. So it was fun, it was really cool, and then they have this giant tree in that area that when it's lit up, it's gorgeous, and it has a lit up, Hershey Kiss on top. So just a really sort of nice walk around area. Um, and like I said, now we haven't been to Christmas Candyland in several years, so I was excited to hear that the roller coasters were open. Not for me, but I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity for like a thrills and chill that I like to do. Like John and Julia could ride the rides. I'd wander around, soaking in the decorations and holiday spirits. But our plan. This is where the wrench came in. And we'd been watching the weather, and when we woke up that morning, it looked like there may be snow showers. Um, but we kept checking for announcements and are they gonna close the park? What's going on? And, you know, we at the point in time when we decided to leave, it was open. So it opened at noon. We left here around 1. So we were keeping a track. We had time to track. It's about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive for us. So why am I giving you all this backstory on the weather? Well, when we arrived, we started walking around and I noticed something strange that I wasn't able to put my finger on immediately, but it was really quiet. And I didn't hear any of the roller coasters running. Like, you don't realize how much ambient noise roller coasters and their riders make at a park until you don't hear it. It was really sort of weird. Um, the park was pretty empty, but that wasn't really surprising given the weather. It was a Sunday. It's sort of a local regional park, so I didn't really think much of that, but the silence was really odd. So we soon realized that the thrill rides were all closed, and I checked the app, and sure enough, the thrill rides were definitely listed as closed on there too. So we saw a sign on one of the rides saying it was closed due to weather, and at this point, the temperature was around 35, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. And I spoke with 2 team members near one of the closed rides, and, when I asked, they sorta had the look of fear in their face, and I wasn't mad, like, I just wanted sort of an explanation. I was like, "What w why are these rides closed?" And they explained that it was because of the cold. And I said, "Well, okay, great. What temperature was needed?" And one of them told me that he's like, 43." I was like, "Oh, okay," and it just sort of struck me as odd and felt like maybe it was not the right the right answer, and like I said, I wasn't upset, I just wanted accurate information because I like to share with you guys, I want you to know and be informed before you decide to go places, and I wanted to know for us so that, next year if we plan to go up, we can track the weather a little better. So like I said, it was a little disappointing. We did drive, almost 2 hours, and I felt like Hershey Park could have done a better job communicating. Not those team members' faults at all. They're doing their best. Like, the Cincinnati Zoo does an amazing job of communicating, on the regular that the hippos, which, is the main attraction there, will not be outside in any temperature under 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So, like I said, the Hershey Park, it just didn't offer that clear info, and I felt like that could have been handled better by them. I don't wanna dwell on this, it did not ruin the trip at all. It's just something that, you know, you can keep in mind in future trips. I'll keep in mind in future trips. So, while the rides were down, it we just had a delightful stroll through the park. Cold, but delightful. And especially once the lights came on, I mean, he we all know when you look in your own yard, you have lights and you see them during the day laying on the on the bushes and stuff. It's not the most attractive look, but man, at night, it really, it was really a show, and this is the one time that I guess I'm glad that it gets dark early because we got to see it, still got home at a decent time. But that Noel light show was definitely a highlight for me, and at that point when the sun had gone down, we did have snowflakes, so it was like real snowflakes, not Snope, It was amazing. Now, I also have to tell you that we took full advantage of the refillable hot chocolate cup that they have, because, when you're at Hershey, you know that the cocoa will be top notch, and it did not disappoint. Um, I think the mug was about $16 and, free refills during your trip, and then if you bring it back, I think it was dollar refills. Um, it's cute little plastic, mug, cup, and then, like I said, the hot chocolate was really good. Definitely enjoyed that, especially in the cold weather. And, you know, again, it's Hershey, so for a little something extra special, they had a s'mores station where, there were actually team members roasting the marshmallows over a fire pit. And so when we looked, and they give you the option of on the menu, you can see this option of a graham cracker. Hey, that's your s'more, good. Or chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, well, you know what we had to try. And then we went all out because you could, instead of doing just a chocolate bar, you can put um a Reese's peanut butter cup on your s'mores. So we had a s'mores that was between two chocolate chip cookies, had Reese's Pieces, peanut butter cups, and fresh roasted marshmallows, and it was good. I am definitely gonna be adding that to like our s'mores routine. Something to try, definitely. And there are plenty of food and drink areas open as well. So if you're in the mood for a meal, you can definitely find something. If you are a craft beer fan, good news, they have Trogs beer there, which is a brewery right down the road. Um, and actually, if you have time, I highly recommend stopping by that brewery. It's like I said, it's right down the road from the park. It's a great spot to grab a drink and a bite to eat. Maybe even do that before checking out the lights, wait till it's dark to go over. Um, of course, we also got to enjoy some free chocolate after taking pictures with the characters. They had mini Hershey bars for us. Same with meeting Santa. So you can definitely get your chocolate fix taken care of while you're there. And like I said, it started to snow as it got darker, and it was really just a perfect finishing touch to our visit. I refilled up on another cup of hot chocolate and just roamed around and checked out the lights under the snowflakes. It was just a great way to end the day before heading home. Luckily the snow was not laying, so we had no issues getting home. The roads were just wet. So, that's the kind of snow I like. It falls and melts. So, here's where I give you my recommendation of whether you should go or not. And as always, it's a big old it depends. So things to consider, like, you know, if you're in California, are you going to come to this park? No, probably not. But this is just my reminder to you to check for a regional park that might be closer and might have a holiday event like this. You know, I think a lot of them have it, and see what they have and go check it out. I probably wouldn't drive much further than we did. We were, like I said, about hour and a half, 2 hours. And if I think I was any further, I would stay the night. And that brings me to my other thing to consider is, you know, if you're driving further, do you want a multi-day trip? There's plenty to do in the Hershey area. Um, we could have even gone over to Chocolate World. We didn't do that. That's just outside the gates. Um, so there's a lot to do that would keep you busy for a few days if you wanted an extended stay. So if you're outside the area, that's another great option. Are you going to ride the rides? If you want to ride the roller coasters, maybe try to go earlier in the season. The event starts November 15th. It was definitely warm and no snow. Um, so, that might be a better option, but I don't know. It depends on yours, or call ahead, check the app, find out what's going on. if you're not into rides, if you're more of the strolling type like I am, this is definitely worth a visit. But again, I would wait until evening to see the full lights in effect. If you have kids with you and they want to see Santa, go a little earlier. Like I said, there were no lines for that. Price. I think this is the big one. So we took advantage of a Black Friday deal and got our tickets for $45. The regular price is 87. It's just I don't know if I would pay that much to to go it period, but especially if I couldn't ride the coasters. Now, that being said, I checked the website and there's still tickets available online for $45. So, um, extended Black Friday sale, maybe they haven't sold as many as they thought, or they never sell it at that price. I don't know, but, for $45, yeah, I mean, it for a few hours of walking around in Christmas entertainment, I think it's, I think it's worth it. Candylane does run, like I said, it starts November 15th this year, 2024, and it runs through January 1st, 2025. It will be closed on Christmas Day. So looking back at what we did, if we had known the thrill rides weren't running, maybe we would have just done our day a little differently. Like I said, maybe start at Chocolate World until it got closer to the dark and then head over. We definitely would have stayed warmer with that plan. Maybe start at Trogs or another place for, a meal and a sit down. So I don't know. I think that's probably the only change I would have made. But overall, it was a lovely day. Like I said, a little disappointed, but it's not going to keep us from returning. Like, do you guys have theme parks near you? I'd love to hear. Click the send us a text link in the show notes. Let me know. And this week, I don't have a Yeti pop pick. Um, but I do have a little update on the ride situation. So, like I said, we went this past Sunday. I am recording this on Thursday. Yes, this is a much tighter turnaround than I usually do on an episode. So please forgive any mistakes. But I wanted to add that I was watching the wait times last night on the Hersheypark app because I'm doing it for you. I was gonna say because I'm crazy, but no, I am curious and I want to make sure I'm giving you information that I'm getting to the best of my abilities. So the weather was rain and it was about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And most of the big rides were open other than a few that didn't surprise me because they don't usually run in the rain anyhow. So my guess is on Sunday that they saw the snow forecast and either told team members not to come in or they just made an early decision not to open some rides. And when it did not snow the way they thought, they just had to live with that decision. So I was really happy to see that the rides were running last night, and I just wanted to share that info with you so you can make informed decisions and get the most from your time and your money on that trip. But I think the lesson here is if you're going to a park and it has an app, download that app and just keep an eye on whether there's closings or um wait times if they have it on there. Just do a little tracking from time to time. And with that, we add another stamp to our pop culture passport. I hope that this episode inspires you to get out and explore all that is quirky and cool, even in your own backyard. So follow, download, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Tell a friend and leave a review if you like what we're doing. It really helps the show grow. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Keep roaming and finding your fun.